Hello, everybody. This is Steve O'Reilly and Gail Saunders with SkinnyPost.com. We're going to talk about the divisional playoffs as we head into playoff weekend. The first game on slate we're going to talk about is the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens. This is the third time that these two teams have faced. They're both in the AFC North, so it's a bitter rivalry, and now that's in a playoff game, so it's going to be even more intense. Gail, break down the game for us. Who do you see winning and why? Go ahead and give us some info.
Well, I got a lot of friends that are Ravens fans. I don't want to hurt any feelings, but I gotta go Steelers. And Ravens were my pick to win the Super Bowl earlier this year. And I think what's standing in the way is Ben Roethlisberger. The Ravens are 0-5 versus the Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger playing in the last 3 years. So I mean that's a big stat right there, and he's been the deciding factor. I think that's the main issue, and plus they're playing at home. I like what the Ravens have done in the playoffs. I picked them last week to win, but I think, I mean, these games are always close. But I gotta go with my gut. My gut is saying Steelers.
Well, I'm going to take the other side of that coin. I'm going to go with Baltimore. And I don't really know why exactly. I mean, they're so evenly matched. It can really go either way. You know, I want to make sure Troy Polamalu is 100%. I think even if he's at 75, 80%, you know, that could be a difference. I don't know. You know, he's a deciding factor. I like the fact that they have Todd Heap back and healthy. I think that's a huge matchup problem. You have, Harrison on the other side and those blitzing linebackers that Pittsburgh presents. You know, I think it's going to be a close game, probably decided by a field goal. The ball could go either way. I think maybe Ed Reed's issue with his brother that's going on in his personal life might, lift some emotion, maybe play at a higher level. Because of that, they may rally around a guy who's been with the organization for so many years. So, I don't know. I just think Baltimore's got something that's working, and I'd like to see him run the ball. That's going to be a key. I think they need to run the ball and just smash him in the mouth. Line up and smash them and smash them and smash them and just plug away. So we'll see how it breaks down, but I like Baltimore. The second game of the divisional playoffs, we have Atlanta Falcons hosting the Green Bay Packers. These two teams faced once already in the regular season. It was a very close game. It was an excellent game to watch. Gail, who do you like in this one, Green Bay or the Atlanta Falcons?
Well, I don't have a lot of friends that are Falcons fans, so I'm not hurting any feelings, but I am going with the Green Bay Packers. They came off a big win last week. They beat my Eagles. I don't know. I'm really impressed with the way Aaron Rodgers' play has been as of late. He's definitely connecting with tons of players on the offensive unit. He's got a lot of playmakers, and their new running game, their new rookie is just coming out of the woodworks. I mean, their offense is a little dynamic. The Falcons' running game is, their key component to a lot of their wins, and then you got Roddy White over the top with Matt Ryan. But I think it's Packers. It's Packers time, man. Even though they're playing down out in Atlanta, I'm going with the Packers.
Atlanta's home record and the things that Atlanta has done this season, I understand that Green Bay has the talent, but Atlanta has the record. I mean, they've been able to be the number one seed and have that home field throughout. I don't think they're going to get rid of it and just throw that away. They worked hard for it. It's an opportunity. They have such a great opportunity. I think that the young Matt Ryan might seize that opportunity and just at least take them to the championship game. I'm not ready to say they're going to win the Super Bowl, but Atlanta has not been valued all year. And they have the great pass catchers, Gonzalez, Roddy White. They've got the running game in Turner. But for some reason, nobody likes them in this ballgame. And I think it's because Green Bay showed they had a running game last week. And they were dedicated to the run, and they found a guy who's going to run the ball hard up in there. Where he's been all year, I don't know.
He was my sleeper.
Well, there you go.
He was my sleeper pick.
All right, so I like Atlanta. You like Green Bay. So far, we haven't agreed on one game. We're going to find out who's better than who after this one. Now, Sunday, let's start off stay in the NFC. We'll talk about the Seattle Seahawks, who beat the New Orleans Saints, kind of surprised the NFL world with that win a little bit. And now they're heading into Chicago, where they're going to face Jay Cutler in his first ever NFL playoff game. Who do you like in this one? You got the Seahawks versus the Bears.
I know the Seahawks are definitely in beast mode mindset right now, but they are playing a different type of beast. That would be the Chicago Bears at home. The Seahawks road record isn't too hot. They usually win with the 12 man, but they did. However, they did beat the Chicago Bears at home this season, which was an impressive road win.
Absolutely.
But the Bears are a different team from that midseason. I think they've actually matured a little bit. Most importantly, Cutler has matured. It looks like he wants it a little bit more. I mean, he's playing better and he's a little bit smarter with the ball. And I think that the Bears defense is fired up and ready to go. So I am definitely taking the Bears. I love the Seahawks story. I love what they've done. That's the kind of it's a great story either way. And Marshawn Lynch, that run was badass.
Yeah. No, I agree. You kind of want to root for Seattle, but realistically speaking, I like Chicago in this one too. And I tell you why. I think Jay Cutler is really going to be focused. I think a lot of people through his career have kind of doubted him because he takes those chances. Everybody wants to talk about the interceptions and what he's prone to. And I always use the analogy that, if you're going to go for a par 5 and 2, and you're going to hit it in the water a couple times, it's going to happen. But you're going to be aggressive. And when that aggression starts to pay off, it's Tiger Woods. It's unbeatable. That's what Tiger is in the golf world. He's very aggressive. And when that aggression is good, it's unstoppable. And Jay Cutler has that kind of talent where he could physically take over a game. But he's forcing it. Now I think they've said to him, hey, Jay, don't force it. You don't have to win this ball game. You got a running game. We got a defense. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat. And I think he's kind of settling into his own, and you're seeing a better result. I think he's going to be very prepared. Chicago is a football city any way you look at it. And when you give up 2 first-round picks for a guy, you want to see some results. And, now they got a home field. They got a bye week. It's a nice little number 2 seed, sitting pretty. So they need to get that win, and especially against a team that's now 8-9, right? 7-9 to get in, and they win once. Now they're 8-9. I mean, if this isn't set up for you, I don't know what is. I mean, it's only going to get harder from here. So I think Chicago takes advantage, though. I really do. They're going to run the ball. Cutler will get a couple, maybe even Hester in a return. And I'd love to see the Seattle story, pan out. I really would, but I don't think it's going to happen. I like Chicago. The final game of the weekend, we have the New England Patriots facing off against the New York Jets in another rivalry game. These teams have faced each other twice. They're in the same division in the AFC East. There's already a war of words starting. You got players popping off at the mouth on both sides. They're playing little head games, kind of letting each other know they don't like each other. The wild card in this, though, Gail, is that New England already waxed the Jets 45-3. So how does that play into this? Do the Jets even have a right to be talking? Should they just be shut up and show up kind of thing? Or do you like this swagger, bravado that, under Ryan? What do you think?
I think the swagger bravado worked in the beginning of the season. They built their little rep up, and it worked. And everyone believed in what they were preaching. It went off the tracks a little bit. They had a big win last week. However, the Patriots are not the Colts. Patriots' offense is much more dynamic than what the Jets have seen. I think the 2 words, dink and dunk, because Brady is going to bring the dink and dunk with his talented receivers who can tear you up in the slot. The guy has not thrown any interceptions, like passes under 10 yards. He's thrown 5 touchdowns in the last 2 meetings. I think it's Patriots all day.
I totally agree. I honestly, the Jets have talent. They started off real hot this year, and they went undefeated for quite a while. And everybody kind of wondered, were they a myth, were they not, and all that. They do have talent, but the Patriots are going to pick you apart. Dink and dunk, whatever you want to call it. They're going to be accurate with the football. They're going to be precise with what they do, and they're just going to do what they do. And I think the Jets are over here on one side scheming up, thinking, how are we going to beat them? How are we going to beat them? And the Patriots are saying, okay, let's work on what we do, because they can't beat it. So they're over here working on what they do, and they're over here working on something new to figure out how to beat them. So I like the advantage with the team that's over here saying, we already know what we're going to do, so go ahead and stop it. And, not saying that the Jets can't scheme up a way to beat them. I mean, they can. I think the biggest battle in this game, with all the talking on the outside between the receivers and the defensive backs, the focus is in the trenches. When you have Mangold versus Wilfork, those are two Pro Bowl players, all right? And if they can get some room to run between that A gap and then B gap right up the middle, that could open up some things on the outside. They may try to run off the edge a little bit and attack that outside in that 3-4. That's probably where they will run. But if they can, they're going to try to run up the middle. And that's going to be a huge matchup. I like Wilfork in it. I don't think they're going to be able to run. I don't think Sanchez is going to beat Brady in a shootout. I think that Brady starts to light him up. And once it starts to get 14-point lead, 17-point lead, that's when you'll see an interception or a fumble. And then Brady's going to score again, and it's going to avalanche. Next thing you know, it'll be a 42-17 game or something like that.
I mean, I think the Jets, if what they need to do is scale it back. I think in the first meeting they were scaled the defense up, all these different schemes to come after Brady. If they just get back to basics and do what they do, and playing defense, which is still tough. If they're going, if they play a lot of man. Those tight ends are going to eat your linebackers up in pass coverage. Those tight ends are pretty damn impressive. I think what they do in different formations they come out with to confuse all the teams that they've done. Confused in the last half of the season. I think it's just tough. It's really tough to figure out what the Patriots are doing. So I think the Jets go back to basics and just dumb it down a little bit. I think they might be a little bit more successful than the last game.
Yeah, I think they also need to be a little bit physical. I don't think they can allow the Patriots. The Patriots are more of a finesse team than people think. They're physical up front on defense, but they're a finesse team all the way on offense. I mean, their biggest receiver, they're not big guys. They're little guys. So if the Jets can get their hands on them, especially those tight ends, don't let them release. Don't get them. I mean, this is all timing. Throw off that timing. Jam them. That's what they need to do, and then get that pressure on them. In Denver, Broncos always had some success against the Patriots with some pressure on Brady, and it's worked in the past. You just got to blitz him and know when to do it, and don't do it all the time, but he will pick you apart. But that's what I'm saying. It goes back to the running game of the Jets. If they want to win, they got to keep Brady on the bench, because he's going to beat you eventually. He's going to score. It's just he's too good of a player. He's the best player on the best team all year long. He's going to get you. So that's who I'm going with. New England all the way.
And word of wise, Cromartie, do not call Brady an a-hole. Doesn't help your team out any.
Yeah, you don't spit into the wind. You don't pull on Superman's cape. That old kind of thing. It's true. You just made him light you up a little bit more. That's all. He's gonna pick on him. Anyway, I'm Steve O'Reilly. That's Gail Saunders. This is SkinnyPost.com. We'll check in with you guys next week as we head into the conference championship round. And we hope you enjoy your football weekend. And we're giving you the Skinny 24/7.